This is going to be your weekly tarot and oracle forecast. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies for the upcoming week, break it down day by day, and let you know how to navigate. You know, I have to say that I'm completely blown away right now. Like, I'm filming this reading in absolute awe of the full moon pick a card reading that I just filmed. I don't know what possessed me to do that reading first before this one, but I think I know why now. I'm really just speechless about the readings that came through, and I invite you to take a look at that reading when I post it. Choose one, choose two, watch them all. I almost feel like this is one of those readings where like all three hit really close to home and in such positive ways. So I'm going to use the same 3 decks for overall messages today, and we'll see where it takes us. But yeah, this is Sunday, and I'm feeling the vibes for the upcoming full moon. You know, last week was really difficult for so many people. A lot of emotions running high, a lot of struggle, a lot of tension, a lot of worry, you know. And I do feel like this week we have an opportunity for something really, really nice with this full moon in Sagittarius. Now, we are going to be doing a full moon Zoom on Friday night, which is May 24th. It's $22. It's a 2-hour general collective reading live on Zoom. You get the recording even if you can't attend. And you even get a mini customized moon reading delivered to you by the next new moon. So if you'd like to join us, the link is in my bio. But essentially, I do think that this is about truth-seeking, freedom-seeking, adventure, shooting your shot, you know, putting yourself out there and seeing where the energy takes you, you know. I do think that there's going to be some truth coming to light, whether you want it to or like it to, but it's all going to shape you in new ways, and it's all in your perception, okay? That's what this is all about right now, looking at the bigger picture, trying to think objectively versus subjectively. And I find myself in the reading for the pick a card, I'm just like getting really into the depths of perception, you know, and how to move forward and how to check your work, so to speak, how to go through the process. So a lot of deep thinking happening. But granted, I mean, I am a Sagittarius rising, and I have a 9th house stellium, which is Sagittarius and, you know, philosophy, thinking, foreign travel, you name it. I definitely, I guess, resonate with this full moon. So anyways, let's take a look at the overall themes and messages. I invite you in the comments to let me know your word of the day, word of the week. What's your vibe? Okay, let's get into it. So here we have, oh wow, okay, love, blooming. By the way, the full moon in Sagittarius is the flower moon. Number 33, lessons, teaching, ascended masters. This could be love on the brain and blooming. And actually, I saw that connection in the pick a card reading, where if you want to get to union, you have to go through the process. You've got to shut some doors. You've got to be open to a path that you've never taken before. And let's see what else we need to know here. Hidden motivations, exactly. I really appreciate this card coming out. It's an intention card. You know, here's the thing. You cannot fool the universe. You cannot. You cannot shut the door on something or detach from something just so that someone or something comes back to you. Your intention has to be pure. It has to be you taking a risk in order to gain the reward. So ask yourself, when you're setting these intentions, excuse me, you have to ask yourself, you know, am I doing this for me, or am I doing this for someone else? Now, let's take a look at the 3rd card. Fool's Embrace, transmuting pain. I'll tell you what's interesting about this combination of cards. Now we have a number 22 and number 33. We have a master number. This says number 1. So, I mean, I guess in theory we have 1, 2, and 3 in regards to master numbers, right? New beginnings, building something, and learning. Again, I talk about this all the time. Having knowledge and wisdom and implementation to get to where we want, right? But here's the thing about Fool's Embrace and transmuting pain, and especially with hidden motivations. One of the questions I asked, I won't obviously say which deck. Excuse me. I've been talking a lot this morning. Are any of you feeling right now that you are masking your pain and holding yourself back, saying that you're healing or focusing on yourself, yet possibly using that as an umbrella to not fully put yourself out there? And I say that very respectfully. And the reason I say that is because we all want love, right? But sometimes, we'll say things like, I'm putting myself first. I'm doing for me. And that's a wonderful thing. You should be doing that. But at the same time, you're still trying to control the outcome, where you might be putting a mask on and yet deep down still hurting in that previous pain, right? And so the way to truly get that love is to put the love into yourself and to spark new energy, new hobbies, new people, new learning, because sometimes we put ourselves in a position with walls because we don't want to be hurt again. So we hold ourselves back and we say, yep, I'm going to focus on myself. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to try this, that, whatever, because I just want to, just be alone, or I just want to do this, that, whatever. And I understand that. And there's no criticism because we're all in different parts of the journey. We've all been there, myself included. At the same time, though, there's a difference between fixed mindset and growth mindset. And growth mindset says you're willing to take steps and you're willing to learn and you're willing to go through the process in order to turn that pain into something else, right? To turn it into something new and better for you. Sometimes we stay in worry or in pain because that's what we know. And when we don't have it, we don't know what to do, right? We don't know what to do without it. So sometimes we just create more of it. And so I invite all of you with this full moon to look at what are your intentions and what are your motivations. Is it to be right about something? Or is it to learn through experience? Okay? So tough topics already for this weekly reading, but again, we're open to discussion and see what happens. Now I'm going to use the Moonology cards, and I did actually reference them in the Pick a Deck reading because I know that the Sagittarius card is, well, there's two. There's a new moon in Sagittarius card. There's a full moon in Sagittarius card. And the new moon one says luck is on your side, and you have to believe that you're lucky, okay? Even when you don't feel lucky, I know. And I'm not saying everything is rainbows and butterflies, but you want to have an optimism, right, of that Sagittarius energy. And at the same time, you've got the full moon in Sagittarius energy in this deck that says, look at the bigger picture. And I was talking in that Pick a Card reading about perception. Everybody has a perception of what the truth is. And there's things that are greater than us, and that is the bigger picture, right? And so therefore, sometimes what we think or perceive to be the truth can be shown to us as something different when we go through the motions of experience, implementation of knowledge and our wisdom, and it can give us a bigger picture perspective of how we've grown and how we've changed. And I was saying in that reading that, nobody's ever 100% right. There's a possibility for a maybe, okay? Because how many times in your life have you thought one thing and it was something else, but you learned through knowledge? And there's no embarrassment in that. There's no shame in that. That is what learning is. If you look at children and how they grow, you know that children make mistakes all the time. They mispronounce words or plurals. Like, how many times have you heard a child say something like foots instead of feet? I buyed that instead of bought that. I mean, so listen, we're not the grammar police here, but we know that as children we make mistakes. We touch a hot stove and learn that we have to be careful. You know, we fall, we fail a test, we make mistakes every day of our lives. You know, when I was a teacher in the classroom and you stand up in front of a group of students, you feel this responsibility to be, you know, the person with all the knowledge. But that's not the case. There are going to be times where I don't know something and I'm going to ask my students, and we're going to Google it, or we're going to talk about it, and we're going to experience something. We're going to do passion projects where we look at the process of learning in order to verify. You can't just come up with a final answer or a final work without really going through the process of knowing and checking. You know, it's good to have intentions, but we can't be stubborn to say we know everything, because we don't know everything. Okay, so let's get into each day of the week. Let's start with Monday. We have balanced spirituality and practicality. And this is my point, perception versus reality. So this is saying use discernment. What is the current situation? Where are things at right now? You know, whenever I think of alchemy, which is basically the temperance card in the tarot, alchemy is turning something into something else, right? Transmuting, right? So I'll say, for example, take what you've learned from the past, apply it to the present so you can have a better future. You have to look at the current situation. Currently today, what is the situation? Where have you been? Where are you at? And where do you want to be? And let's take the methodical steps to get to where you want to be, right? And so this is a tough one. This is Neptune influence, and there's a lot of Neptune influence with the full moon in Sagittarius, and Neptune is about dreams. So I invite you to think about your dreams and your goals, absolutely, but at the same time, there's got to be a balance of some reality in there. And here we have on Tuesday, a win-win outcome is forecast. I love that. Exactly. Everything's going to be okay. It's going to work out the way that it's supposed to. And wow, on Wednesday, look at the bigger picture. Well, we're getting into the full moon vibes. Now the full moon's on Thursday, but we're feeling it. I know we are. I know it's already happening, and by Wednesday, you're really going to feel it. So I'm very curious to see what cards are going to come out with this. Now on Thursday, be bold and make the first move. And again, this really relates to the pick a card reading. Be bold and make the first move. This is basically saying, are you going to sit on the sidelines? You know, if it's for your personal growth and evolution, make the move. Sign up for that course. Start that business. Be open to love. Whatever it is, make the move. Okay? So that is on Thursday. Now let's see about Friday. Your hard work is paying off. It is. And we have Saturday. You and your loved ones are safe. Everything's going to be okay. You don't have to be everything to everyone. You just don't. You just don't. Everyone is okay. Focus on yourself, your own growth, your own healing. Yes, you care about others. It's not a matter of whether you care about others. But you have to put yourself first. And this is telling you to believe in the impossible. And this is the thing about Sagittarius energy. You want to throw the energy out there, put it out there, and see where it lands, right? Believe that anything can happen. You have no idea what will happen. Nobody does. You will cross that bridge when you get there. You can have inklings, you can have feelings, you can have intuition, you know, but you just got to go through the motions. And if you're right in the end, great, you're right. You verified your work, but we can't stay stuck. And let's take a look here at, where are we? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to look at the sneak peek for the following week. Oh, goodness, the answers need are coming. Gemini energy. I told you. Truth, clarity, answers. And I just want to make a point. A time for healing. I'm going to take that. I'm going to put this right at the very bottom here. It's like a bonus. Wow. Okay. Now, let's take a look at the tarot. Let's go back to Monday. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Strength. Oh my goodness, I'm getting all these like vibes about the pick a card reading. I'm probably going to repeat myself a million times, but You'll see why when you watch that reading, or if you watch it. Okay, so you have to have the strength and the courage to see clearly and to use discernment and to be aware of what's going on. You know, sometimes we are in ignorance as bliss, and that's not so comfortable. Wow. Okay. Let's take a look at Tuesday. A win-win outcome is forecast. The moon. Oh my God. Okay. The moon. Full moon. Full moon in Sagittarius. You can feel it all week. The moon is about purging and surrendering and letting go. And it's trusting your intuition, yes, but it's putting yourself out there, right? We don't want to worry so much. We don't want to be in that anxiety. Now look at the color here, by the way. There's a lot of blue here in this hidden motivations or this transmuting pain. So we've got to purge and let go and be open to the new and communicate clearly. Now on Wednesday, look at the bigger picture. Queen of Wands, confidence. How confident are you? Believing in yourself. Queen of Wands, I mean, listen, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius is Wands energy in general, right? Obviously, there are components of other signs in there, but essentially this is the confidence. And I mean, like, look again, the coloring that's coming through in this, like, square over here. And let's take a look at be bold and make the first move. King of Cups, be in tune with your emotions. Keep yourself in check. Okay, your hard work is paying off. Ace of Cups, fill your own cup. This is exactly what I'm saying. Fill your own cup. Self-love is going to bring you what you want. You and your loved ones are safe. You're tired, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, exhausted, tired of taking care of everyone else's things. There is something called problem ownership, and I've mentioned it before. Okay? Now let's take a look at Sunday. Two of Wands, believe in the impossible, leave your comfort zone. How will you know unless you leave your comfort zone? This is making a decision. Are you in the old? Are you in the new? What are you going to do? You got to make a decision to simplify your life. And the answers you need are coming when you decide. Can't make that up. King of Swords. I saw this as well in the pick a card reading. And I used many different decks, by the way, in that reading. So it's not even just that I'm using the same deck. It's the same messages and energies. King of Swords, logical, decisive, detached, letting go of something so you can have the new. The answers you need are coming, and you're going to have to decide what you're going to do with those answers. Now let's look at the bottom of the deck just for kicks, because that's what happened before. The Empress, you're birthing a whole new cycle. A time for healing. Heal yourself by being in the new. This is feminine energy, being creative, receiving. I love it. I just love these readings today. Like, you have no idea. I'm in absolute awe. Okay, let's go back to Monday with the Oracle cards. And we have 1111, Twin Flames, Divine Partner, balancing masculine and feminine energies. Wow. Do you have the strength to go on this new journey? Heart chakra activation. Your heart is being activated. There's a catalyst for major change right now in you to make a move. The moon, rising from the ashes. Now, interesting, I'm guessing that the moon, I didn't look at this beforehand, but obviously the moon will be in Scorpio before it's in Sagittarius. So this is the energy that's going to be leading up to the full moon. It's the Phoenix, rising from the ashes, death and rebirth, brand new beginnings, 1111. Funny, we talked about having the, oh my goodness, I talked about having all the master numbers. 33, 22, there you go, 11. This is purging, surrendering, complete renewal, transformation, and rising from the ashes. And we're going to do it confidently because we're going to look at the bigger picture. We're going to stop looking at the potential of things, and we're going to look at the reality and incorporate the spiritual side of things. You can have both. It's not all or nothing. This is the point. And let me just go into something that I've been talking about lately. And maybe that makes me come back to that balancing spirituality and practicality. If you think of the chakras, right? You've got the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra. The crown chakra is going to be your downloads. It's going to be your spiritual self, your higher self. But then you've got your root chakra, which is your base. How else do you get to complete knowing unless you've worked your way up the chakras? And some people, they don't know the downloads or the intuition because they focus on their foundation in life or work on their self-confidence. There are just some people who say, I'm not spiritual. I don't get it. I think it's a woo-woo. And then you get people who are really in those upper chakras who don't understand the foundation of life because they don't feel they fit in the everyday world. That's why some people feel like an outsider or even alienated from daily life. And there's no right or wrong in this. It's a balance of those two energies. Because sometimes the people who are more comfortable in the 3D in their daily life and ignorance is bliss, they don't want to be in the spiritual world. They don't want to be in their higher self. They don't want to experience those things because it scares them, right? How many people do you know are afraid of their spirituality? Many, right? It's because it's the unknown or it's the things sometimes that we can't see, right? And again, there are people who live in the spiritual and aren't comfortable in the daily. They feel isolated. They feel alone because the spiritual journey is a lonely one, right? And so this is where we have to recognize that in general, we are spiritual beings living a human experience, which means that there is a balance of all of these elements in our knowing. The root chakra, again, is building our solid foundation. Our sacral chakra is about finding our self-worth, our self-value, and self-respect. Our solar plexus is our personal power and making moves in life. Our heart chakra is about being heart-centered and trusting the electric magnetic field of our heart, the intuition of our heart, our ability to love. Our throat chakra, the ability to communicate clearly. Our third eye, which is taking in the information and trusting our intuition. And then ultimately our crown chakra is about being in connection with our higher self. But guess what? The higher self's got to be in connection to the heart. So we wake ourselves up through the chakras. That's what you would call a Kundalini awakening or an ascension process. There's no all or nothing, one way or another. We find answers through experience, wisdom, knowledge, and implementation. And that is the key here. So I digress. Pardon me for that side note. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. But essentially, you're going through a total transformation and change. And in your lifetime, you will go through many of these. This is not going to be a one-time thing. This is something we do often. We reinvent ourselves. And if we don't open ourselves to that, the universe forces us. That's how we get these tower moments and tension. Okay, so the confidence of the Queen of Wands. It's time to take off the mask. And I asked earlier about hidden motivations. Look at it. It says hidden motive. You can't make this up. This is about looking at the bigger picture. So sometimes we've got to ask ourselves, well, what is the motivation? And a lot of the times, and forgive me for saying this, a lot of the times we do things because we want to be loved. We want to be chosen. We want instant gratification. And I understand it. We've all been there. I've been there. But at the same time, putting on a show or putting a mask on is only going to take you so far, right? So you've got to be confident and you got to look at the bigger picture and see why things are happening. Now, the King of Cups here, a lot of people are worried about their emotions. There is this stress and anxiety. What if? You know, you're in this who, what, when, where, why, and how right now. But the answer is filling your own cup. Allowing things to unfold naturally. See? Don't worry. Take a leap of faith. Moving on. A change in direction. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, 10 of Wands. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally exhausted. Well, the element of air. Gemini season coming up. Right? It's developing. Gathering information. This is my point. Gathering information, being curious, being communicative. I love it. Okay. Now let's take a look at Sunday. 2 of Coins. Simplifying life. Yes, the time has come. Boom. Simplify your life. You want the abundance? Simplify. Okay, that sneak peek at the following week, being logical and decisive. Yeah, decide. Decide to be heart-centered. Love, romance, joy, bliss, heart's desire, content, affection, fulfillment, kindness, forgiveness, passionate, caring. There's your love right there. Coming full circle. And let's go bottom of the deck. The Elephant. There's the Moon. Expect the unexpected. Oh my goodness. And overthinking. Okay, we're not going to overthink. But funny how these cards are at the bottom of the deck. How many of you have been having very crazy dreams lately? I know I have. This is about a powerful energy that's telling you to trust. Yes, you might have some telepathy. But again, ask yourself the bigger picture here. Whenever I have those signs or synchronicities or telepathy, I ask myself, what's the motivation behind it? Because I have to also look at the reality. And just because I hear something telepathically or feel something doesn't necessarily mean that that's the end all be all. I've got to go on a journey. I've got to verify it. I've got to test it. I've got to check it. I have to remove the obstacles, because sometimes those messages can be obstacles. You know, I get a lot of people who ask me questions about, let's say, dreams or telepathy or someone else's energy. And in my opinion, and this is me, I believe a lot of that is tests. I'm not saying you can't connect to other people. Of course you can. Of course you can. But a lot of the times, if you ask yourself, what is the motivation behind it when you feel it? Do you take it for maybe what it is or a test? Or do you say that it has to be this because it suits what you feel? And that's a very difficult thing in regards to spirituality. And that's why I'm always saying, looking at the bigger picture. You know, when I was in a classroom teaching, I used to give every angle of everything to my students to be able to debate it and discuss it. And I do the exact same thing here with all of you or in my sessions. It's not a matter of this answer is right or this answer is wrong. It's looking at all the possibilities in order to come up with some sort of something. And then test that energy and learn. I'm all about growth mindset, learning by doing. And so I think these are really lovely messages today. And I really feel, wow, what a deep connection to that reading. I was debating whether I wanted to post 2 very long readings in one day. But I'm going to post this one first. And then I will post the other one, because I have a feeling many of you are going to want to watch it. If you'd like that, let me know. Wow. Okay, let's get a message to close things out here from the Inner Child Oracle. Boom. Love it. Let go of the past. It's time to envision a new story. I talk about this every single day. The past is filled with old stories, old conversations, old belief systems. And I'm not saying that it's going to happen overnight or that it's easy, because it's not. It's not. It takes time, it takes patience and intention. This is my whole point coming back to this card. It's all about intention. What are your intentions? Not what are your plans, what are your intentions? Let them guide you and then see what happens. I really hope this resonates with you. As always, thank you for your kindness and support. It really means the world to me. I'm blown away today. There's a lot of deep thinking here. And again, that's that Sagittarius energy. We're philosophizing, we're truth-seeking, we're looking at the bigger picture. Let me know if this resonates. Again, thank you for your likes, your comments, and subscribes. It means the world to me. Thank you very much, and I wish you an amazing week.